He was the city's most decorated police officer, a man who saw the world in black and white, right and wrong. She was an art gallery owner, a woman whose smile could disarm armies and whose eyes held a universe of secrets. Their meeting was pure chance, a spilled coffee on a busy street corner, a moment so clutch it felt like a scene from a movie. He was instantly captivated. She was intrigued. He was Officer Liam O'Connell, known for his unwavering dedication to justice. He'd spent his life chasing shadows, putting bad guys behind bars. He believed in order, in rules, in the clear line that separated the lawful from the lawless. When he met Isabella, he felt something he hadn't felt in a long time, a sense of peace. She was his calm in the storm of his chaotic life. Their dates were simple: walks in the park, late-night talks over diner coffee, visits to her gallery where she'd explain the passion behind each brushstroke. He'd tell her about his day, omitting the grim details, and she'd listen, her gaze full of a strange understanding. He was falling, hard and fast, for a woman he thought he knew. He was wrong. Isabella wasn't just an art gallery owner. She was Isabella the Silk Romano, the inheritor of the city's most powerful and elusive criminal empire. The art gallery was more than just a passion. It was a front, a place where whispers turned into deals and masterpieces hid ledgers. She'd been raised in a world of shadows, a world Liam was sworn to destroy. Her grace and elegance weren't just for show. They were weapons, honed over years of navigating a treacherous underworld. Her father, the old Don, had taught her that power was a quiet affair, best wielded with a smile, not a fist. When she met Liam, she saw not an enemy, but an escape. A glimpse into a life she could never have, a life of normalcy, of simple love, unburdened by the weight of her family name. Their worlds began to collide in subtle ways. A name dropped during one of Liam's investigations would be a name Isabella had just had dinner with. A warehouse raid Liam led would disrupt a shipment Isabella had personally overseen. At first, they were just coincidences, strange echoes between their two lives. Liam would complain about a new player in the underworld, a ghost they called the Silk, who was consolidating power with terrifying efficiency. Isabella would offer him a sympathetic ear, her heart pounding in her chest. She was playing with fire, and she knew it. The thrill was intoxicating, but the fear was a constant, cold companion. She was falling in love with the one man who could bring her entire world crashing down. The tension mounted. One of Liam's informants, a low-level thug, got a glimpse of the Silk during a high-stakes meeting. His description was vague, but one detail stuck with Liam: a unique jade pendant, one he'd seen before. He'd seen it around Isabella's neck. He dismissed it. It couldn't be. It was a common design, he told himself. His heart refused to connect the dots his cop's brain was frantically trying to assemble. He loved her. He trusted her. But the seed of doubt had been planted, and it was beginning to sprout. He started noticing things: the late-night calls she'd dismiss as supplier issues, the sudden trips out of town, the way her eyes would sometimes hold a flicker of something hard, something dangerous. Meanwhile, a rival family saw Liam as a threat to their operations and, more importantly, a weakness in Isabella's armor. They decided to force her hand. They orchestrated a situation, an ambush disguised as a routine patrol call, designed to put Liam in an impossible position, to make him a target. The call came in. Shots fired at a downtown warehouse, one of Isabella's properties. Liam's team was the closest. As they stormed the building, they were met with overwhelming firepower. It was a trap. Isabella got the news from her own network. Liam was pinned down, outgunned, his life hanging by a thread. In that moment, the line between her two worlds vanished. There was no more Isabella the gallery owner or Isabella the Mafia Queen. There was only a woman terrified of losing the man she loved. She had a choice to make: let him fall, preserving her secret and her empire, or reveal her true self to save him. It wasn't a choice at all. She made a call. Within minutes, sleek black cars, filled with her most loyal and dangerous soldiers, descended on the warehouse district. They moved with a silent, brutal efficiency that the police force could only dream of. They weren't there to arrest anyone. They were there to end the fight. From a rooftop across the street, watching through a high-powered scope, Isabella directed her forces. She was a queen commanding her board, sacrificing pawns to protect her king. Liam, trapped behind a stack of crates, his ammunition running low, saw the tide turn. A new group had entered the fray, hitting his attackers from the flank with professional precision. He didn't know who they were, allies from the shadows, but they were saving his life. As the last of the rival gang fell, a single figure emerged from the chaos, silhouetted against the warehouse lights. The figure walked towards him. It was Isabella. The jade pendant around her neck seemed to glow. In her hand, she held a radio, the source of the calm, authoritative orders he'd been hearing. The illusion shattered. The art gallery owner was gone. Standing before him was the silk. The silence in the aftermath was deafening, broken only by distant sirens. They stood there, a cop and a criminal, their love story now a crime scene. "You!" Liam breathed, a mix of awe, betrayal, and heartbreak in his voice. Isabella didn't flinch. Her expression was a mask of sorrowful resolve. "I couldn't let them hurt you, Liam," she said, her voice steady despite the tremor in her soul. He looked at the carnage around them, at the woman he loved, a woman who commanded this world of violence as easily as she discussed Renaissance art. He was a cop. She was the very thing he'd sworn to fight. Yet, she had just saved his life. What happens when the line between love and law is not just blurred, but completely erased? When the woman you love is also your city's most wanted criminal. Their story was no longer a simple romance. It had become an impossible paradox. Could he arrest the woman who held his heart? Could she abandon the only life she'd ever known for a man sworn to destroy it? Their love was born in a lie, and now, exposed by violence, they stood on opposite sides of a war they had unknowingly been fighting against each other all along. The future was a blank canvas, and the only certainty was that it would be painted in shades of gray.